Wow. Full moon is out tonight. We finally made it to a full moon. Notice the time. It's around 8:15, 8:20 p.m. here in the ocean, and the sun is already set. As you can see from the shadows, the sun's already set. So what does it mean? That in order to get a full moon, the moon has to be all the way on the other side of the sky, away from the sun. So what is that telling us about the intricate relationship between these celestial phenomena, or beings, or whatever you want to call them? Why does the moon need to be away from the sun in order to be full? Look at that, it's beautiful. Be sure to share your experiences during this full moon wherever you are. Notice the things around you. Notice the sky, notice the ground, notice the ocean, the earth. Notice how things really behave, and stop listening to the lies. Let go of the cognitive dissonance. Look at that full moon. It's just beautiful. There's no words to describe it. So the moonflower is in full bloom tonight, if you want to call it that. And the sunflower is the furthest away from it. Like, actually, something to think about, and I'll give you the proof here in the next few videos, is the relationship also between the moon and the heating and the cooling down of the earth and the atmosphere. So for example, we're very familiar with the sun, being out and about up in the sky for longer. Here in the summer, you're gonna get more than 10 hours of sunlight. And when it's winter, the days grow shorter. That's very obvious, and anybody can tell you that, even people in the city, let alone people in the country, who are more in tune with nature, with creation itself. So one thing I never knew, just up until a few days ago when I was researching all this, is that the moon also changes the length, the duration of the moon up in the sky changes between the seasons. So right now, here in the summer, and you can look this up, or you can notice in the sky and time it. This moon is up in the sky around 11 hours. So 11 hours of moon time in the atmosphere. That means there's 13 hours where there's no moon. There's no moonshine, no exposure to the moon, whatever it is the moon is doing. So there's less exposure to the moon during the hot months, the summer and the springtime, and then the moon starts surfing the skies for longer. So in the winter cold days, you're gonna get more moon for your money. You're gonna get up to 13, 14 hours of moon time per day or night, and the amount of hours where there's no moon is going to get shortened to 10 to 11. So there's definitely a relationship here between the sky, the earth, the sea, the sun and the moon. Very deep, intricate relationships which we tend to oversimplify, right? So we want to be aware of reductionism and all its downfalls, but we also want to know things. So that's sometimes we have to simplify, but make sure we know it's a simplification, and that we do not fall into the trap that is reductionism, where you say, hey, you know, this is the answer and that's it. No, there's probably several functions that the sun and the moon are doing. Look at that. What does that look like? There's something in front of the moon. Looks almost like a hand or a tree root. Are you seeing that? That's pretty bizarre. I mean, I'm sure it's some sort of cloud cover, funky cloud cover. Are you seeing this? Looks like a wolf howling at the moon. That's pretty intense right there. So again, the moon and the sun are referred to as flowers in the ancient Sanskrit. They're called as pushpa. So what do flowers do? I've told you in the videos before. They flow. They flow with nectar. They flow with plasma. Plasma is an anagram for maple. So we have the large maple trees plasma, the plant's plasma. And so if the sun is a certain type of plasma, yellow salt plasma, and the moon is a super cooled white nitrogen plasma, and you know, they're going through the plasma, the plasma is flowing through them, wouldn't that make them as a flower by definition? Maybe not ones that we're used to, but hey, what's more familiar to you than the sun and the moon? Let me know in the comments section, please. And this is just gorgeous. I wish you could see the moon as I can see it with my own eyes. It's way better than the camera. There's no comparison. So the moon's probably also reflecting either the surface of the earth or the underside of the earth via the Chinese magic mirror effect. So I'll have to do another video explanation on that. But there's several things going on. From what I'm noticing, the moon seems to be a lot more complicated than the sun. Go figure, right? Because the moon's feminine and the sun's masculine. But you know, all jokes aside, you know, they both have their intricacies, but and nuances. So many things, right? So let me know what other functions you think the moon and the sun are doing besides just being a timepiece, albeit heavenly timepiece. If they're also heating up or cooling down the atmosphere, if you agree with my opinion on the sun processing the oxygen and the moon processing the nitrogen, I still have to present more evidence, but let me know your preliminary thoughts on the subjects and whatever else might come to mind, please. Appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful evening. God bless.